What you don't see off screen.
It's a really cute room. I mean, that's what you don't see.
It is. It is. Too bad it's just me in here.
Well, it's you and about 18 Pokemon.
You can't at me like this. Do you know what most people say when they come into this room for the first time?
I'm horny.
I wish. What's it like sleeping in the most curated bedroom I've ever seen? It looks like nobody lives here.
Oh my god. I'm like stylized for like a really cool like teenager. No shade.
It me. I'm more of a giant growther than a show and teller. Cop.
And I'm that last shot of Halo that made you black out and make poor choices, Jeremy.
And this is In Response, the show where we talk about Magic the Gathering because we want to and because we're gay.
Kinda, a little bit.
Just a tad. Would you say that like your color, your core is like Abzan?
100,000,000%.
Interesting.
Absolutely. I like every now and then I'll have like a drop of blue and a drop of red, but I have nothing that is like primarily focused on the mechanic that blue or red care about at all. Like, what's a counter spell? I don't know.
Well, black has counter spells too.
I don't fucking do that.
I'm not a degenerate.
I'm not a pervert in that way. Just so many other ways.
I feel like I am like Jess Guy, I think.
Just a guy?
I'm just a guy.
Just your average
He's just a man. Because it's like, I know my core is white. I've played white since like...
I think white is...
high school. Like...
Probably. I go back and forth between white and green.
White and green, yeah. But then like, I think Jessica's weird because it's like the erraticness of Izzet, but the control of Azorius, but like, you can do the aggro of like Boros. It gives me a lot of like... options. It's quite verse, ironically, even though I'm not. Like,
oh my god, low-hanging fruit.
I know,
right?
Okay.
You're the
I'll
fruit.
I'll go. And that's the end of the show. I feel like color identity 1 is very strict, right? It feels like very like we've known about color. Strict.
Oh, I thought you said straight.
I mean, straightforward.
Like heterosexual?
No, not on this show.
Heterosexual? I never.
But like, I feel like color identity is it's very straight in that it's like, you know, it's one lane. But like, I really enjoy the like color fluidity, which is that like, which is like something doesn't have to be the thing that it's presenting as. So like, I built Volrath, which is a Sultai commander.
I know, I lost to that.
I know, but it's really a Simic deck, because like it's like everything in the 99 is a Simic deck, even though Volrath has black in it. And people are always like, that's not a Simic deck. And I'm like, it is because I say it is.
It can be.
It can be. It can be whatever you want it to be. The deck can be whatever it wants to be.
I feel the opposite about my building. I feel like all of my stuff is very like, I built the same decks. And it's like, it's green and it's got a lot of bodies and it smashes your head in. That's what I do. But I have built the most decks ever. I've built like 4 or 5 decks in the last like 3 or 4 weeks.
That's because you're deep in the lab. You're noodling. You're deep in the nudes right now.
Yeah, I love nudes.
I know, me too.
Like a lot. Don't send them to me unless you ask me first.
Consent is important.
But you know, some of you already know that you could send me nudes, so just give it a shot. We'll see. So I need to branch out. Jesus be an Izzet commander that strikes.
You're still waiting. I feel like we've been talking about this forever. I feel like you're like standing on the cliff, like waiting for your Izzet commander to like come over the horizon on the ship and just like.
Yeah, I'm like staring out the window like, when will my spell-slinging husband come home from the war? But yeah, so I'm very curious about Magnus the Red from the Warhammer
I think
decks.
Magnus Red would be great for you. I think the two of you would have a great first date, and then you definitely have a second one and be like, I think something's happening here. And then by the third one, you definitely take Magnus home and be like, this is happening.
Third one?
Because it's so new. It's blue-red. Okay, well, you're a
I want to know what we're working with on day one.
Okay.
I want to walk
You
up
want
and
the
be like,
goods right there.
I'm going to shake your hands, and then I'm just going to, like, get in one
Check
here. You can do the same to me, and we're like, okay, we're good. You know? Like, it's...
I don't know why I got mechanic vibes out of that. Like, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Consensually, of course. But I like that it's, like, it's doing the token thing, which I'm comfortable with. So I feel like it's, like, taking a strategy that I know and I'm comfortable with to try to teach me how to do the other thing.
Yeah.
It's another strategy that I've
Listen,
done before.
I love that idea of, like, if you know yourself well enough as a player and a deck builder to have an existing strategy and just pivot the same strategy to a different color pair instead of trying to do something completely different that's out of your realm.
Yeah.
Like,
dress it up a little bit.
Dress it up. Yeah, exactly. You can have a business look that can change into an evening look. Like, that's totally doable.
My token strategy goes from daytime to nighttime in the change of a color identity.
I love that for you.
Yeah, it works.
Well,
I mean, it hasn't worked yet, but I think it might.
Okay, you're very Timmy then, aren't you? You're like super Timmy.
I think I'm like, yeah, I'm Timmy, but I think I'm kind of like, I like to do a couple of little sneaky splashy things. So I don't know what that means, who I am. I don't know. I need an adult. Johnny is, I don't know.
Well, Johnny is a very attractive furry in this world, so.
That's a gay man.
Johnny, wait.
It's not.
Canonically?
It has never been canonically
Is he
confirmed. You know.
with the claws?
But apparently it's like been heavily hinted at that a Johnny and Brimaz kind of like
Brimaz.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, he's very beefy.
The fan fiction is writing itself right now. Like, the furry fan fiction is happening.
I'm not writing it.
I checked your browser history.
What?
Don't lie to me.
Me?
Listen, one of my things is that, like, I try to actively not build, one, the same color pair, or the same idea in a different color pairing. Because I just, like, I've done it, right? Like, that is just me personally, like, challenging myself.
Yeah.
Like, I do not think that anybody should hold themselves to that standard. So I recently built the black-white life swap deck that I've been trying to work on.
Was it Aura? Was that who you did?
No, I was gonna do...
Oh, you did the partners.
I did the Folk Hero and Baracos.
Oh, the background.
Right, the background.
Partners,
because it's...
kind of the same.
Whatever this... Yeah,
They were roommates.
it's a little... You know, it doesn't have that, like, reveal factor. It doesn't have that, like, surprise factor. Like, it's like a deck that you can see coming a mile away.
That
it's like...
card is crazy.
Which one?
Baracos?
Baracos. Yeah, I know.
He's hot.
He is... Oh, you like... It's some orc
I had
action?
a whole... Shout out to Bobby Christine. We had a whole conversation on stream about this one time.
About how hot orcs are?
No, that one specifically.
Oh, Baracos.
The Baracos is like, oh, sexy.
Well, he's very versed because he is either a cleric or a warrior.
We went through
or a rogue or a wizard.
We went through a whole list of like why he was an appealing partner, and it was like has a lot of jobs, has a lot of friends, like makes treasures, makes money. Middle name is Party.
Literally, as soon as I dropped one life swap option, everyone was like, well, you have to die now.
Yeah.
You have to die. And I was like, there's no reveal. This deck turns the corner on the runway, and everybody's like, oh, okay.
That's definitely, yeah. You're walking down here wearing a poncho. There's not going to be anything under there, right?
No, not at all.
Couldn't possibly be. I kind of like having like a corner of like where I like to live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I know what I like to do. I know what I like am good at, and that doesn't mean that I don't like the challenge of like learning new stuff.
Well,
like
that makes you a what is it, like a specialist or like a master of like this,
sure,
you know.
Yeah. If it's black, white, green, black, or Abzan, I'm fine with it. I really wanted to build.
Well, you can't build Calyx because it's Celestia. Like,
watch me.
I
would suck Calyx's whole off. And he's not an he is an enchantment. He's not a planeswalker anymore, so he can't leave me. I hope he's gay. He's just, oh my god, those eyes.
Does he planeswalk like mid-suck? Is that like...
he better not.
He's like,
he's taking my whole throat with him. Anyways, So I hope he's
Gay?
Golos is so versed.
I like the idea. Yeah, the most.
The most versed.
Like, she is getting fucked this
Mhm.
way, that way.
Every which way.
If you could, like, can you edit me, like,
Death dropping? Yeah.
flipping, like, all around in a circle? I'll stand still for 1 second. It's too powerful.
It's, yeah, because even my Kenrith group hug deck is technically a band. It's 5-color, but if you look at the way that the deck is like split percentage wise, it's actually band with like the tiniest splash of red and black. And it's like that's again, just because the commander presents itself and its color identity as a thing, it doesn't mean that that's what the deck has to be. The deck can be whatever you want. You can like make Kenrith mono green if you really wanted to. Like it doesn't have to be that.
But I don't know, I'm overwhelmed by 5 colors. I don't think that I want to do that much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Have you thought about doing a deck that is like 2 or 3 colors, but generates 5 colors in its mana base before? Like my Rakdos, my Falthus and Ketis deck, because it's a theft deck, right? So it's supposed to steal other people's commanders and then hit the table for a bunch of damage.
Rude.
Right. I love it. Tiny boys, big damage.
Yep.
But because I'm taking other people's commanders, if they have a activated ability, I want my land base to be able to make 5 colors, even though it is a Rakdos deck.
Okay.
And so, like, when I talk about like color fluidity in that way, like Mana Confluence, City of Brass, Chromatic Lantern, Cascading Cataracts, you can put those lands into any deck, and then all of a sudden your 2-color deck becomes a 5-color deck.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it would have to just be a theft deck, though, right? Because then I don't.
Yeah.
So you
Well,
just
you
want
can,
me to
or clones.
Just
No.
let me play your deck.
You
That's
can
what you're
make-
saying. You want me to play with your deck?
Where is your hand off screen?
Oh. But what about my feet, though?
Not my kink.
Anyways, we got way off topic.
You know what I feel like your Abzan situation is? I feel like it's like the cat suit, where every time it's another Abzan or a Celestia deck, I just see Michelle Bashaj go, it's another cat suit.
Green
Green.
white. Again. Wow, green again. Yeah, I mean, I am who I am. I'll never change.
Live your life.
You know.
I think that's the
green.
beauty of this game, is that like you can build whatever you want to build, you can have whatever color identity you want to have, and you can present yourself in whatever color fluidity way you want to.
Yeah.
And if somebody says like I don't agree with like your deck building, or I don't agree with like this whole thing, fuck 'em. This game is too big. It is too wide. This community is too expansive for there to be any sort of fucking limitation on that concept. Oh.
Oh my god, not the You're the one going off course now. It's out the window that way.
Grab the wheel! I think that's the... we did it, episode 2. Yes.
I'm dancing.
Yes.
I'm happy. I had a great time. I blacked out. I don't know what we talked about.
It's okay. We don't need to remember. The internet will remember for us.
I'm gonna go check on that.
Okay.
Okay, bye.